Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. 2023 is half over, so maybe this is a good checkpoint to see what we can do without for the rest of the year. Or, we can just complain about stuff. Here to air their grievances, regular contributors to This is VANCOLOUR, one of the best criminal defense lawyers in the province. She's also the author of the new children's book, Sit Still Jackson. She is Kyla Lee, and joining her is the legendary BC broadcaster who just loves getting me in trouble. She is Tamara Taggart, and this conversation is supported by Shelter Point Single Malt Whiskey, distinctly Vancouver Island, uniquely Shelter Point. Kyla, Tamara, thanks so much for being on the show tonight. And thanks for your contributions throughout the year and throughout the season. It's been really fun.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I'm happy to be included.
Yeah, so fun that Tamara, CHEK told me that the next time you have to be on, we need a lawyer present, which is why Kyla's here.
I have a stack of waivers in my drawer.
We got to protect our bases, We got to, take care of ourselves. I want to ask you, we're halfway through the year now. What can the rest of 2023 do without? Tamara, let's start it off with you.
I want more transparency. So a lack of this, I want, what would you say the opposite is of, I just want transparency. I want
transparency from who? Oh, from everyone?
Well, from people that are in a position of power.
Okay.
Maybe the government would be a good place to start.
The people who are supposed to be transparent?
Right.
Yes, as a matter of fact. I think that would be my number one choice. Like when someone asks a question, they get a transparent answer, not this, mumbly, bumbly, kind of stuff. And we're so great and we're so awesome. It's like, come on.
But do you really expect that from a government that brought in fees to get access to information?
Oh, good point.
Very good point.
I thought being gaslit was just normal for the population. I thought we were just used to it at this point, that we're just going to get gaslit every time a politician opens their mouth.
That was the COVID conspiracy. They created COVID just to gaslight us. Get us used to just trust us, we're government.
Right.
So that we go along in the future.
That's the conspiracy. But I do like what you're saying, because I find that sometimes when I'm interviewing politicians, I'm not naming any specific politician to be very clear, sometimes they don't give straight answers, or they just don't answer the question. I could do with that. I could do without that.
That is 99.9% of politicians. I'm speaking from experience. I worked in news for a long time. Well, I ran in news for a long time.
Yeah.
I worked in news for a long time. You ask a question, you never get the answer. You get the party line. I think there are a couple of really good examples right now of people that never answer the question, but I think it's a pretty standard.
When you ran for office, how many people in public did you gaslight?
None. I think the problem is I was too transparent. They saw me as trouble and they were like, she's not going to work out here.
Wow. Okay.
I'm too transparent.
Well, I like that. That's what I like about you.
What do you think, Kyla? What could you do without?
Oh, the politics of hate and toxicity, where instead of making our political points based on how we want to make the world better, how we want to make life better for everybody, people are now making their political points based on who they hate the most.
Yeah.
The recent by-elections are a great example of this, where some candidates ran platforms that were solely based on exclusion as opposed to inclusion, and I'm over it.
It's a bit of a diversion politics, right? So instead of talking about the real meat and potatoes issues, it's like, hey, aren't these other people terrible?
Well, and I feel like it started with Trump, right? Getting riled up based on disliking a certain group of people or a certain demographic, and people saw how successful that was. And so even in the parties that are sort of more pro-social or, pro-helping, they're still engaging in this sort of hateful dialogue, just in a slightly more nuanced way.
Right. It's interesting because I think that there is a fine line, certainly not against hating groups, but in terms of being critical of the government, right? Because you will have people saying, oh, well, your position is just being against this current government, or you're just a critic. You're not proposing any new policy yourself. And so I don't know.
Do you think though that it's we are learning from the politicians, because it's the politicians can never agree on anything. they can't agree on anything. They never give you a straight answer. They do things that are completely unacceptable sometimes. And
what do you give me an example of things they do that are unacceptable? What do you mean by that?
Well, one thing is never answering a question.
Okay.
I can go on and on. I think that, when a government decides they're going to send people cancer patients to another country for treatment, and we ask questions about it, they all get their knickers in a knot over it, thinking that we're actually, talking about someone specifically, or we're just being negative, or we have nothing nice to say. It's like, what are you talking
Tamara,
about?
are you speaking from personal experience right now?
No, never. I am not. But I'm a terrible liar. I find it really interesting because we learn about gaslighting from them. We have this idea that we only have two choices in this province when it comes to politicians, right? We have this side or this side, and that's not true either, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are good people everywhere. It's the people that we keep seeing that make us the craziest are the people that really maybe shouldn't be in politics.
Also, those are the people that end up getting the most attention, whether it's that they get the more TV interviews because it's more sensational, or they get the more traction on social media. And I'm really interested to see how that's going to change now with Google indexing news and Facebook not like on platforms. How will that change sort of the positions that politicians take when we see less of journalists at least attempting to challenge what politicians are doing?
Now, we didn't plan this, but there is a common thread that we just want gaslighting to be over, and gaslighting particularly from people in power or people running for power, whether it is avoiding questions, whether it is this diversion type politics that, focuses hate on other groups. We just want that to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Is it even possible, though? Can you have a politician that is not gaslighting you?
I think it's possible. I like to think it's possible. Here's the other problem is when you join a party and you get into, politics, or you're in government, you all have to agree on the same thing, even though you don't agree.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not everybody they might not want to vote for this. There's no room to hear how the person you voted for really feels about something because it's what the party feels.
Right.
And if you don't toe the party line, they'll kick you out of the party.
100%.
Right. So then what do we do about that? Aside complain on television.
I don't know.
I just think we need more choices. And I think that we need to not have a majority government. I think that we need to have many voices at the table that represent all of us. We have, most people, you don't win an election on Twitter. Right?
No, definitely
you
not.
Don't win an election. You can lose an election on Twitter pretty fast, but you don't win one on Twitter. So if we were to eliminate that, how do we reach everybody, right? People aren't watching the 6 o'clock news anymore. Right. Where are people getting their information from? Where do we learn who the good people are and the not so good people are? Where do we find those people?
People aren't really door knocking much either, or engaging with the community in the same way. Again, probably a byproduct of COVID and not wanting to go into people's yards. But I also I don't want politicians showing up at my door and interrupting me.
Especially if they're not going to answer my questions,
right.
Kyla.
You know what? I did a lot of door knocking and I loved it.
Really?
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah.
But there's a science to that too. I mean, I got called a lot of names when I door knocked too, because I was in an NDP riding, and it was very there's some strong opinions there.
Listen, I'm going to call you both names, friends. I appreciate everything that you did for the show. Great contributions, great conversations, and you'll be back for season 3, right?
Is there a season 3?
Of course there is. You'll be back.
Yay!
It's on record now. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Folks, they've been incredible contributors to This Is VANCOLOUR throughout season 2, and they just said that they'll be back for Kyla's Court and Tea Time with Tamara in season 3. They can't back out now. They said it out loud. They're my friends, Kyla Lee and Tamara Taggart. Big thank you to Shelter Point Single Malt Whiskey for supporting local conversations and local content, even when it gets spicy. Now up next, I got a rant that will probably get me in trouble, but hey, we'll have the whole summer to get over it. I'm going to take a moment. Up next.